Okay, we're back for episode 3. This is the Crow Cams 1249 camshaft. A lot of people have requested to do a review on this camshaft, and here we are doing it. So back to the test mule. As you can see, we've built this and set this up as a pure and simply pull cams out, pull cams in. Like, it's just literally slap them in and out. It's not pretty, it's not funky, but it's functional and it does what we need to do proper back-to-back testing on the car. So the 1249 cam's been around for a very, very long time, and it's been used and recommended by a lot of workshops and and YouTubers and so on, and all sorts of people. Like, it's been around so long, and it just works. It has always worked. It's been our go-to camshaft for a very long time. And we've always recommended it. It works great in a manual, works great in an automatic transmission. It works well in the 6 litres and even the 6.2s, but it works primo in an LS1. It works really well. Are there better cams out there? Yeah, I'm sure there are. But the whole purpose of what we're doing with this, the footage that we're doing, or the development we're doing, is a case of finding the holy grail of camshafts. Finding the one that makes the best power on the top, doesn't sacrifice much in the bottom, or vice versa. So we will get to the holy grail of camshafts. When it shows its face, we will know which one it is. But to the 1249, like the previous video we did was the Crow 1780, baby little cam, excelled very well on the bottom end and made reasonably good power on the top end. But I guess, how does this cam stack? So looking at the dyno sheet, as you can see, there's our baseline of 258 kilowatts, 456 Newton meters. Now with the Crow Cam 1249, it's a 226, 232, 608 and 602 on the lift on a 112 lobe separation. 295 kilowatts, 489 Newton meters of torque. That is mighty impressive. Now, bearing in mind, this has got the first generation LS1 heads. Now, to the best of my knowledge, these actually flowed slightly less than the 241s. However, this car's proven to be quite impressive in the power it makes. It's making like 10 kilowatts more than any other LS that we've had come through the door. So, this thing it's better than expected. So any figures that we do in this test, they are going to be slightly higher than you're going to see out on, in your own world or whatever, only because this car just seems to make more power. So I'll be reluctant to pull these heads off until we've done all the testing, because I'd actually like to do the test to a 241 head and see if there actually is any difference between it. But anyway, back on to topics. So with the 1249, where does it excel? Where does it fault? It really doesn't fault anywhere. You can see from 2200 revs, there's no loss or torque loss or power loss anywhere from the RPM range. Like, you haven't traded off anything. It's got a zero trade-off camshaft. The only trade-off that this camshaft has is probably drivability and overall smell. And when I say smell, obviously with the overlap in the camshafts, the bigger you go, the more fumey they get at the back. Now, people say they can tune that out. No, you can't tune it out. It's a byproduct of the camshaft. You can't get rid of it. You can minimise it, but you can't get rid of it. So as you go bigger in the camshaft, the more lumpier, the more aggressive it is, the more of a smell you get out the back. So these are all the things that you've got to consider when picking the camshaft for your choice. Do you want to have something that smells a bit fuely out the back? Do you want something that's lumpy, shakes the car around, it has loss of drivability? Because you are going to lose drivability as you start to move into these bigger sort of spec camshafts. The 1249, it's minimal drivability loss. You do absolutely know it's got a camshaft that the lights, car shakes and rocks around, and you'll definitely know it when you pull into the gear or go to take off in a manual transmission. It's going to take a new technique to drive the car. It's something you'll have to learn. However, for the cam, considering against others, it is quite drivable and quite friendly, and we've used it in LS1s and 6 litres and so on, and it's always been quite nice to drive. So as far as the trade-off goes, I guess the only real trade-off is that it's noisy, it's lumpy, and it smells a little bit. But if that's what you're into, then you're not going to sacrifice anything. So you can see here where it comes up, it's got the converter unlocked in the bottom. It comes on, has a bit of a roll here. Now where this rolls off here, a good 3100 32 converter would absolutely lift this over that there and make this work. And you could use a standard converter with this if you had to, buy yourself some time to save some money up. you know, some good tuning of the airflow tables and the spark tables, and you would absolutely get this to work. I've done it before, it does work. It's not something I'd recommend as a long-term thing, but if you're going to put a converter in it later down the track, you know, or a few weeks down the track, I guess it won't be a big deal to do. So just gonna, sorry guys, I'm just gonna clean this lens because it looks a bit dirty. Sorry, is it clean? Yes, it is now. Yeah, so if you're going to put a standard converter in it, you know, you can get away with it, but yeah, I absolutely recommend that you do put a 31 to 3200. Even a 2800 converter will work just fine. That would just bring it onto peak. So, but as far as where it comes in, you know, it's around sort of 8 odd kilowatts off the bottom, holds it, and then once you get to around sort of 4,000 revs, you can start to ramp on. And it really comes to life at around 4,800, 5,000 and turns all the way to 6,800. So you can see this is a top end camshaft. It is something that you're going to put in that's going to allow you to RPM it and rev it, but you don't lose any power in the bottom. And if you look back onto the Crow 1780, the little cam, this isn't far behind it in the bottom end. Obviously the smaller one does make more power, it does make more torque, but it's not that far away. So as an overall camshaft, this ticks a lot of boxes that make you want to go for it. Hence the reason why we have always recommended this cam in previous history, you know what I mean? So now there's a lot more cam choices out there. There's so many options. This is why we're doing these videos, because it's just getting so complicated and so hard to make a decision. So I hope this video helps you make a decision if you're considering going with a 1249. And yeah, so it should be, yeah, it should help you out a lot. A lot of people have been requesting in the comments from previous videos, they want to see the Crow Cams 1717, I think it is, and the 1230, something along those lines. Yes, they are on my list. I am going to get those camshafts. I'm going to actually order them tomorrow. So in the coming weeks or months, expect to see those videos. They are coming. We also have a whole string of other camshafts, other companies and so on to test out. We're going to test out all of them. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you make your decision as to what way you want to go. If you're still confused, don't worry. I'm getting more confused because the more cams I test, the more I start to like the other different cams out there, you know. So, but look, at the end of the day, it's good to have the conversation because there are variables that help make the decision. You just got to literally ask a few questions, tick the right boxes. It's going to decide. Pretty much once you tell us what you're doing with the car, we will basically sit there and go through the pros and cons of each single cam, and it'll only be a handful of cams that will suit your application. Big cams aren't for everyone, small cams aren't for everyone. Not everyone likes a lumpy cam and not everybody likes a smooth cam. So at the end of the day, it narrows the selection down quite quickly. But if you've hanged around this long, I appreciate it. And please subscribe to our channel. Yeah, just keeps me more motivated to keep these videos coming, and we'll keep trucking along. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.